I never imagined the person I called family would try to destroy everything I worked for. My stepfather had always been overbearing, but I trusted him, thinking family wouldn't betray me like that. Then it started as small suggestions about helping me run the company, which quickly turned into manipulative tactics, secret meetings, and shady contracts. One day, I discovered he was trying to claim ownership of my company behind my back, and I realized he would stop at nothing. I knew I had to act fast, or the business I built from the ground up would be gone forever. From the beginning, my stepfather had a controlling streak, but I ignored it because he was family. When I launched my company, he praised me, at least in front of others, but behind closed doors, he started planting seeds of doubt. He would casually suggest, "Maybe I should manage your finances, it's a lot for you to handle." At first, I laughed it off, thinking he was being helpful. But then, subtle manipulations began. He pressured employees to follow his instructions, questioned my decisions in meetings, and even tried to get me to sign documents I didn't fully understand. At first, I felt paranoid. Surely he wouldn't try to take my company, right? But a gut feeling kept gnawing at me. The first real warning came when I accidentally found an email draft on his laptop. It wasn't just advice anymore, he was planning to gain legal control of my company. Shock, anger, and betrayal hit me all at once. The person I had trusted, the man who claimed to care about me, was trying to steal everything I had worked for. I knew I couldn't confront him yet. I needed proof, solid, undeniable proof, to protect myself. I started paying closer attention to every interaction. My stepfather's charm and manipulation were so subtle that anyone else might not have noticed, but I was determined. He presented fake business proposals, attempted to forge my signature, and even tried to convince a few partners that I was incapable of running the company alone. I began documenting everything. Every email, every meeting, every conversation where he overstepped became evidence. I installed additional security on sensitive files and created backups, just in case. The deeper I dug, the worse it got. Not only was he trying to gain control legally, but he also wanted to sell parts of my company to people I didn't trust, all while presenting himself as a family advisor. The emotional toll was immense. I felt anger, sadness, and disbelief. How could someone so close betray me like this? I confronted him indirectly at first, asking about the documents he had been pushing me to sign. He laughed it off, saying I was overreacting, but I wasn't fooled. Behind that smile was greed and entitlement, the kind that would stop at nothing to claim what wasn't theirs. I realized that if I didn't act carefully, he could permanently damage everything I had built. I knew I needed an airtight case. I couldn't rely on emotions or assumptions. I had to prove he intended to steal my company. I started recording conversations where he pressured employees and myself, saving copies of altered documents, and obtaining witness statements from trusted partners. Every move I made was strategic. During this period, he became bolder, probably thinking I wouldn't suspect him. He tried to involve other family members, spreading lies about me being unfit to lead the company. It hurt, but it also strengthened my resolve. I realized the key to exposing him was patience, waiting until I had undeniable proof that I could present to authorities, lawyers, and even my family. One late night, while reviewing old emails, I found an attachment that changed everything, a draft of a legal document transferring ownership of the company to him. My stomach sank. He had been working on this behind my back for months, carefully manipulating situations so that no one would question him. That's when I decided to act. I contacted my lawyer, presented every piece of evidence, and began preparing for a confrontation that I knew would not only save my company but also reveal my stepfather for who he truly was. I scheduled a meeting with him under the pretense of discussing a minor company issue. But this time, I was armed with proof. I laid out every document, email, and recorded conversation. At first, he tried to charm his way out, claiming misunderstandings and accusing me of paranoia. But the evidence was undeniable. I watched his expressions shift from confidence to panic as I detailed each manipulation and forgery. I even brought in our lawyer, who calmly explained the legal ramifications of his actions. Every lie he had spun, every attempt to undermine me, unraveled in that room. Family members who had been unaware of his schemes were stunned. Some were angry, some disappointed, but no one could deny the truth. I felt a mix of relief and vindication. I had not only protected my company but also exposed a toxic presence masquerading as family. The stepfather tried to argue, but the facts spoke louder than his words. By the end of the meeting, he had no choice but to retreat. He couldn't challenge the evidence, and he couldn't manipulate anyone anymore. I had turned the tables completely. In the weeks following the confrontation, life began to return to normal, but it was different. I had learned hard lessons about trust, boundaries, and vigilance. My company was safe, my employees reassured, and I had strengthened my leadership by facing one of the most challenging personal betrayals imaginable. My stepfather's reputation within the family and among business partners was irreparably damaged. He tried to downplay his intentions, but the proof was everywhere. I realized something crucial: family doesn't always mean loyalty, and trust must sometimes be earned, even from those you love. The ordeal also taught me resilience. I had started this company with a vision, and despite threats from someone so close, I didn't just survive, I thrived. My employees admired my courage, my family learned the truth, and I finally felt in control of my own destiny. It was a hard-fought victory, but one that reinforced the importance of protecting what's yours, standing up for yourself, and not letting betrayal go unchecked. Even now, I occasionally reflect on that time, grateful that I acted decisively. It was a painful chapter, but it cemented my understanding of loyalty, justice, and the lengths people might go for power. More importantly, it reminded me that when faced with deceit, evidence and courage are your strongest allies. Looking back, I realized that exposing my stepfather wasn't just about saving my company, it was about reclaiming my life and asserting my worth. Betrayal by family cuts deep, but allowing it to go unchecked would have been far worse. I learned to trust my instincts, gather proof, and face challenges head-on. The experience strengthened me, taught me invaluable lessons about trust, and showed me that standing firm against manipulation can lead to true justice. Today, I run my company with confidence and without fear.